Hello BookTube, Sarah here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with the weekend reads. The day I'm filming this is not on the weekend. Today is Thursday. It's about 8:30 on Thursday morning. If you guys have been watching my channel and you watched my last weekend reads, you know that I mentioned that I'm going away and that I was going to be filming this early because I do know what I'm going to be reading this weekend, so this totally works. But before I get into what I'm going to be reading this weekend, and I do kind of want to talk a little bit about, you know, what's going on this weekend because I'm super excited. I have a couple quick little announcements to make. Sorry, I need my coffee. Oh gosh, I have not been showing you guys, and I know somebody requested it, you know, that I start showing my teas and stuff that I'm drinking. All the holiday ones are coming soon, guys, so stay tuned. But I am drinking a coffee this morning, and yes, I'm using a straw because I do have my lipstick on. But you guys need to see this mug. I got this at Walmart last week. So it says, "My summer body failed, but my winter body is ready." Is that not awesome? I just love it. So it's McDonald's coffee for the Keurig, and then it's got the it's the International, is it International Delights? I don't think it's International Delights. It's one of the coffee creamers, but it's Southern Butter Pecan, which I put in there, which is to die for. So that's what I'm drinking. Anyway, quick little announcements I want to make. First off, I do apologize for not having any other videos up for you guys last week, or between now and my last weekend reads. I absolutely meant to. I had videos I wanted to film. I wanted to go through the list that you guys left of all the book suggestions for nonfiction November for the book club and do a video highlighting some of those and which one we were going to pick. And time got away from me. With me going away this weekend, I had things that I needed to finish up, which I'll show you guys. It's still not done. It's the sweater. But it is only Thursday. I still have tonight before I leave tomorrow. And yeah, so I just didn't have time, and I do apologize. So leading into that is book club, a little book club announcement. Because I didn't have time to do that, and I don't want to push it too late, like to do it next week, I was looking at the list, and the books are so varied. And that is the one thing about nonfiction, is that you are essentially getting every genre, every possible subject or anything like that anybody might be interested in is nonfiction. So, like, for example, I might totally want to read The Last Castle, which is about the Biltmore House, which I really do want to read. It's like top priority on my list. And, you know, somebody else might want to read, oh, what's that book about the funeral home? Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. That I have no interest in. That actually kind of scares me a little bit. And I know it would bother me reading something like that. So that's what I mean when I'm saying, like, nonfiction is so varied and so subjective. So for this month only, this is going to be a free-for-all. And I know that that's not what book club is. I know the whole point of a book club is to all read the same book. But we're kind of going to take a pass for the month of November. We're leading into the holidays and things like that, but it is Nonfiction November. So the way book club is going to work in November is just read a nonfiction book. Read any nonfiction book that makes you happy, and post a review in the Goodreads group for the book club, because, you know, maybe, you know, we'll get other suggestions for nonfiction books. And what I'm thinking for next year is what we'll do is maybe have like 4 different categories or something like that, and you guys can pick within those categories. So ultimately it'll be 4 books that you can pick from, something that would interest you, so that way you're not feeling pressure to read a book that you really might not feel comfortable with. And I don't know if you guys like that idea going forward as well for other things, like for, you know, for February when we pick romance. You know, do you want to pick a couple different ones? Do you want to make sure one is a Christian romance and then one is a standard romance? You know, let me know in the comments below, guys. I really want to make this work for you. You don't have to read all the books that are picked, but I wouldn't mind giving you guys a selection of like 2 or 3 to pick from. And like, these are the 3 books that we're going to be reading this month. You can either read all 3 or you can read 1. I kind of like that idea. So anyway, yeah, so that's my thoughts. So for November, please just pick a nonfiction book to read and post your thoughts in the Goodreads group. So, all that being said, let's jump into what I plan on reading this weekend. Since I am going away on a yarn retreat of sorts, I am going to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, or Rhinebeck, as it is called. the book I'm going to be listening to on audio, I do not have prepared because it's not in front of me, and I am a bad booktuber. Give me a second. The book is called Yarn to Go, and it is by, bear with me just a second here. Oh, I feel so bad I'm making you guys wait. Please talk amongst yourselves. While I figure this out. Here we go. Okay, I'm sorry. See, the cat's putting in his 2 cents. So this is by, I Thought So. It's by Betty Henchman, and it is narrated on audio by Margaret Storm. It just so happened that this was the book that came up next for me to read this month because it's one of my book picks for the RRC Challenge, and I'm super excited the fact that this is what I'm going to be reading. I've got an 8-hour drive each way, roughly, possibly more depending if I get stuck at the border, if there's traffic, construction, what have you. So I believe this is a, what does it say? It's a 9-hour audiobook, but I mean, I can absolutely finish it in a day, like in one drive, either there or back. But I think I'm going to break it up because if I just sit and listen to it, I think with audiobooks, as much as I absolutely love them and I think they're fantastic, they can tend to get monotonous. 2 or 3 hours of listening to somebody, especially when you're driving, you know what I mean? Like, you need something to, I don't know. Am I explaining this correctly? So I think I'm going to be switching between my audiobook. I've got like 22 hours worth of songs downloaded on Spotify, all country music, which I love my country music. So I've got that to listen to. Plus I have a gazillion podcasts to catch up on, audio podcasts. So that's what I'm going to be listening to. But this book, I should actually talk about the book. This book is it's a cozy mystery, and it's about a girl who, or a woman who inherits her aunt's yarn retreat business. And of course a murder takes place. So looks like a lot of fun. My ebook that I will be reading, I don't know how much actual physical reading time I'm going to have this weekend, but the current book that I'm reading is, gosh, see, I'm drawing such a blank today. Melt My Heart, Cowboy, and it is by C.J. Carmichael. It is the first book in the Love at the Chocolate Shop series, a series that I found from somebody else on Goodreads, and I'm so excited because I cannot wait to get to this book. I put the second book in this series on my TBR for November. FYI, for those of you doing the RRC Challenge, it's been posted. The November challenge has been posted, so check it out. I may or may not have already compiled my list for November, my TBR for November. My current Babysitters Club book that I am reading is still Jessie's Secret Language. It's book number 16. I didn't get a lot of reading done on this weekend. I was dead tired by the time I went to bed. I would like knit until I was exhausted, take my husband to work, and then come home and crash. So not a lot of reading before bed. So all this being said, I'm going to jump into my weekend. So if this is not something that you're interested in and you don't want to see my knitting and all that stuff, then please feel free. I will see you guys in my next video. But if you are interested, stay tuned. Okay, so the sweater, it's still not done. I have 3 rows to go plus the bind off, so I will just kind of hold it up here and show it. Now, I do plan on, like I said, this is Thursday, so I am going to edit this when I get home from work tonight, and if this is done, I will take a picture of it and post it at the end of this video, just so you guys can see it. But we have 2 sleeves, 2 sleeves, the back. It's a sweater, guys. It is a sweater. What I'm working on right now is it's the front panel, as they're calling it. It's like the button band part, but there's no actual buttons on this sweater. That's what I call it, just for ease for people if you're not sure. But yeah, so I'm almost done. I've got 3 rows left to do on that, and then the bind off, and it's done. And I will be wearing it when you guys are watching this. When you guys physically see this video, I will be wearing this at the festival, so that's very exciting. So what I plan on, because this will be done, what I actually plan on working on this weekend, because there will be a lot of knitting getting done, a lot of hanging out with friends, and we're actually staying in a cabin. I'm so excited. So if you guys have been watching, I might have mentioned that we had booked a hotel. So we had the hotel booked and all that stuff, and life was grand. And then my friend Lynn, her group, there's I think 6 of them going, they're staying in these cabins, and they're legit like cabins that you would rent in the summertime. Don't think they're on a lake or anything like that, but they are in the Catskill Mountains. Like, that's the area that we're going to. We're about an hour from these cabins. About 45 minutes. The festival is about 45 minutes from these cabins. And my friend Lynn happened to mention, she's like, she thought that there was a cabin still available. So immediately I called this place. And yes, there was. It's a 2-bedroom cabin with a full kitchen and a porch. And, you know, there's going to be 4 of us staying in the cabin, so it works out really well. 2 of the girls are going to share, like, the room with the big double bed, and then me and the other girl are going to share the room with the 2 twin beds, and it's going to be great. And it's a nice big cabin, and so all in all, between us, I think there's 6, they've got 6, we've got 4, there's like 10 something, maybe more people are going to be like going between the cabins. I think we're mostly going to be hanging out in Lynn's cabin. We can sit and knit all night, and then at the festival on Saturday, and then hang out Saturday night, so it's very, very exciting. So I will be casting on something new, which is what I'm super excited about, because the only thing I've been working on for the last month is that sweater. And I love it, I love it, I love it, but it needs to be done, and I need to cast on something new. So, my little niece has been bugging me for months. Every time she sees me knitting, because I'm always knitting. If we go over to my grandmother's or something like that, I can't just sit. I need to sit and knit. And unfortunately, well, fortunately, I'm sure you guys get it, reading when you're with other people can be kind of rude. But knitting you can absolutely do, because you can still, like, converse with other people, but you're not, you know, you're still doing something else, and I need something to do with my hands. So let me just bring this up. I want to show you guys a picture of this hat, because it's just too adorable. Oops, am I spelling it right? I think so. I can't remember the designer. I'm gonna have to find this, because I'm gonna have to get the pattern and download it before I leave. Okay, so my niece has been bugging me for a hat, so I found this one, and it was a free pattern, and I'm gonna knit it for her. So can you guys see that? It's got cat ears. Is that not stinking adorable? So I'm knitting that for my niece for Christmas. And here's the yarn that I'm going to use. Nice and bright. So it's pinks and oranges and purples. It's actually showing up quite true to color on the camera. So that is the yarn that I am going to use for this hat for her. Her winter coat is actually black with bright pink polka dots. So this is going to be perfect. And I think she's absolutely going to love it. And that is a free pattern. And essentially you're knitting like a box, like this, right? Like a rectangle. So typically for a hat, you knit the hat, then you do decreases, like for the top. But this one you just knit in a square. And then you take yarn and you pull in the corners to make the ears. So I just think it looks really cute. And I showed it to my sister-in-law. I'm like, what do you think? My sister-in-law's like, ooh, I like it too. And truth be told, I kind of really like it as well, so I might knit one for me. But I think I'm going to knit one for my sister-in-law as well for Christmas, so she doesn't steal my nieces, because they have the same head size, which just amazes me. A 7-year-old girl and like a 30-year-old woman have the same size head. But anyway, I guess, you know, whatever. So while I'm at the festival this weekend, I'm going to look for yarn in the appropriate weight. Something to do with Harley Quinn, like the Joker and Harley Quinn, because my sister-in-law is big into that, so yeah, I think that'll be really cute. But yeah, so that's what is going to get knit on this weekend. I'm also going to be starting a new, well, not a sweater, it's actually a poncho. And it is really, really pretty. I had it cast on before. A number of, probably earlier this year or late last year, I think I had cast it on. But I ended up tearing it out because I was not overly impressed with it at the time. But now I really want to knit it, and I will just show it to you guys. So I'm going to bring the yarn and all that stuff for that, but I'm not going to show that to you guys because it's really boring. It's just gray yarn. But it's a poncho, and who knew that a poncho would be cute? I remember ponchos when I was a kid. My mom would crochet with like the fringe and stuff, and it was like, ooh, you know. But now as an adult, I'm like so absolutely in love with that. How pretty is that? So that's the next thing I'm going to cast on. It's a garment. I always like to have like a sweater of sorts on the needles, but it's a lot more mindless than the one I've already done, and I need a palette cleanser between sweaters. So yeah. So anyway, guys, that is it. While I'm away this weekend, I do plan on recording and vlogging. I know for a lot of you it's not going to be any interest because you're here for the reading. Of course, this is my booktube channel. But for my knitting channel, my podcast, I'm going to be recording. And I'm going to be taking vlog style video of the trip down and the festival, and I'll have all that posted probably on Monday or Tuesday on my podcast channel. And what I'll do is next Friday or next Saturday when I record my weekend reads is I'll post a link to that if you guys are interested in all in seeing that on, you know, what the festival was like. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to let you guys go. I've gone on far too long for this video. I appreciate you taking time to sit with me. And again, I do apologize for not getting videos up last week. Things will be back to normal after this weekend. And until then, until my next video, guys, take care and happy reading. Bye.